Yo te traigo esa bomba puertorriqueña.
I didn't win after all. Never mind. Some you win, some you lose.
Right, I hope that's working. Just want to say hello to everybody from YouTube. Today I'm doing a little moto vlog. I've been chatting to a few people recently, and a couple of people said to me that they want to ride a big bike but they're a bit scared of it. So today I thought I'd chat to you about it and, you know, ease some fears. Let's get going first. Going into my hometown of Oxford. I've taken the chin cover off because someone messaged me saying I sound like an astronaut with a sound. So I'm trying a different way. Taking the cover off, and there's a bit of air getting in now, so I've got a sneaky feeling it's going to be better. Right, which way should we go? Let's go this way. Yeah, if you've got a bit of fears about going from a 125 up to something bigger like a 600 or 1000, now I just want to talk to you today about, you know, the difference between and what you have to think about. The first thing obviously is the moving around and the extra weight. It's obvious that the 1000 is quite a bit more heavier for manoeuvring about, but they're not that heavy that you can't just, you know, I sometimes lie against mine and move it round on a stone driveway. You know, your average person can easily move them around. Actually, when you're riding, you do feel that slight bit of extra weight between a 125 and 1000, but the riding is pretty much the same. Obviously, this thing's got such a lot more power than a 125, but as I've said on previous videos, you just have to respect that bit. That side of it, you just have to respect completely. I have got a few really good tips to help you ride a lot safer. God, I hope that sounds better. If the audio's no good, it's all going in the bin. Yeah, I've got 3 really good tips to help you ride a lot safer, which I'm going to explain in a mo when we get away from here. Sometimes an extra bit of power can help you really get out of trouble. The thing we've got to do with 1000cc is go really gentle. Just, you know, gently with a clutch, gently with a throttle, you become really gentle with it, and you know, because obviously if you're leaning out of a bend, you can't just crank the power open like you can on a 125. I mean, you're still, anybody who's good at riding a 125 can ride 1000cc, no problem. But let's get on to the tips that I wanted to talk about. My first tip is this. If you get a new bike, whether it's new, second hand, but it's new to you, don't wait until you have to do an emergency stop to go and test out doing an emergency stop. This is a real good tip for you. Take it to a quiet road and do some practice. Start at a low speed, do some practice on the emergency stops. I mean, the worst that can happen is you fall off, but what I'm saying is you build up your speed slowly and practice your emergency stops. Practice. You know, because every bike is different. You want to know what the bike does. You want to know what your body weight does, how it transfers. You know, you just want to learn about the machine that you're riding. So, even if it is just a 125, take it to a quiet road and test out them emergency stops. And I guarantee that once you are self-trained in these stops, when it actually comes to that emergency situation, you will literally be able to just jam on the anchors and control, you know, any possible skid. You know, you even want to get used to your ABS. If you've got ABS, you even want to get used to that. So tip number one, don't wait until it's an emergency, go practice, and then your stopping capabilities will be so much better, so much stronger. You'll be able to cope with anything, I promise you. Right, that's the first tip. I hope you like that one. What the hell's going on here? Bit of a wrangle, mate, bit of a wrangle. This place is called the Cowley Road. All sorts of things happen down this road. Everything. Yeah, my second tip. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold at the minute. This bit is important, you know, especially when you're riding a 1000cc. That, yeah, you're not going to use unless you go on a track, you're not going to use the bike's capabilities. So there is a time and a place for using, chatting away on the phone, look. I used to think people were talking to themselves all the time, but yeah, there's a time and a place for using the power. I go out for rides, and you know, when there's no side roads and no gateways and all that, and it's quiet on a country road somewhere, I will absolutely crank this thing open. God knows what speeds to get up to. But it's out the way of vehicles, it's completely safe, and I'm not going to get into trouble. Unless an animal runs out in front of you, but that's quite rare. I've hit a deer in my car. You know, it almost wrote the car off because I hit a deer on the motorway. But the odds of doing that are extremely rare. So take your bike to quiet roads and you can crank the buggers open. You know, you're not going to get done for speeding. You're going to get a little feel of the power, and yeah, so respect the power, and there's a time and a place for it. If you're really a bit of a nutter hooligan on it, then take it to a track and push it. If you're going to slide off, there's nothing to hit, so that's where you want to go mad. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not trying to speak the obvious, but you know, if you're a bit nervous about riding such a big bike, you know, these few things keep me alive. They keep me safe. My next tip, and this is one of my best tips. Whenever you buy a bike, you know, put an exhaust on it that's quite loud, because you can communicate with that exhaust. If you get a bike that's louder than, you know, your average bike, then cars can hear you coming, they can hear you behind them. You know, it's about being heard and seen on a motorbike. I ride in such a position, yeah, I ride out to the white line so I'm seen, but not only that, I don't know if any of you watch Royal Jordanian. He uses his bike to tell pedestrians that he's coming, he tells cars that he's coming. He always puts a really loud exhaust on his bike. So it's about being seen and being heard. It's like if you're travelling alongside a car, don't sit in their blind spot, which is right beside them, because they can't see you. I either ride behind the car or I'll ride in front. If I end up beside them, then I'll accelerate to get into their eye. Always imagine that you're the driver of that car, and can they see you or not? If they can't see you, then the chances are you're at a bit of risk. Yeah, if you like what I've been chatting about and you want to see more of my motor vlogs, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Once you subscribe, the videos get sent right to your inbox on your email. So please subscribe, give me a massive thumbs up if you like, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next vid.